see how this looks. Hi, Rain. All right. Hey, sweetie. Just trying to get all set up now. Gypsy. Hi, Amy. Oh, I owe you a call. All right, Amy? Okay, let's see here. We have like 3 minutes just to let people kind of log in. Hey, Sherry. Get all my notes. Getting all ready. I'm really excited about today's show. So I'm making sure I had all my notes and everything there. Ah, my cousin's on. Hey, Michael. Thanks, Amy. It's nice that I have family logging in here, too. And Jen, hello to everybody. I just want to give a minute or two for everybody to log in. I'm really excited about the show. It's a beautiful, beautiful deck that I'm going to be working with today. Alrighty, and make sure. And as usual, make sure any of your comments and questions, please write them there. Did I have a wonderful weekend? Oh, I did. I did. I was going to discuss that in a moment, about the weekend. We have 2 minutes to go. So I want to make sure I give everybody a chance to log in. And have you seen the way that our tarot forum has really exploded with the amount of people that are on? I'm so excited about it. Let me see. So for some reason, it doesn't always scroll up in real time, and I have to touch the screen and move it up. I'm viewing this, or I'm recording this on a iPad Pro, so I have to scroll up. For some reason, there's a bit of a delay when people write me. Okay, we got another minute or so. But I'm excited. Here we go. I'm just looking to see if anybody else has any questions for me at this point. So I got a bunch of questions that people did write me in the tarot forum and through private messaging. So I'm going to try to get to everything as quickly as possible. Okay, so let's see what we have here. We have, see the timing here. Okay, so it is 5 o'clock. And I'm going to get started with everything. So I'm really excited to do an unboxing of the Herbcrafters Tarot. So you can see that I still have all of the plastic still on it. It was tempting to open it up, but I did not. So I'm being good here. Hello, John. I hope I get to everybody that is on there. But this is our new deck. So before I even open up, it's really solidly built. Like, there's weight to it, and it feels really, really pretty solid. Oh, there goes the 5 o'clock whistle. I don't know if you can hear. So, the Herbcrafters Tarot deck and book set, and then there's explanations on the back. The Herbcrafters Tarot celebrates the handicrafts, tools, time-honored folk skills related to herbs, trees, and flowers and other plants that share their gifts with us. This deck and book set explores the relationship between herbs and how people use them for medicine, creativity, ritual, and spiritual guidance. It also considers herbs as archetypes, which is interesting, and explores our partnership with the botanical realm. The Herbcrafters Tarot is an engaging introduction to herbalism and plant spirit magic and can be used as a profound divinatory tool The set includes a 78 card deck and a 124-page book full of herbal inspiration and ideas for crafting with the cards. So this is the back end of it. I'm hoping I'm not getting too much glare on that. And let me scroll up here. Did the Jets win? You're going to have to figure that one out, Michael. Hello, Aaron and Marianne. And I'm just excited. So what deck are we discussing? The Herbcrafters Tarot, Sherry. And this is an unboxing. So I'm excited with the fact that US Games is literally sponsoring us and will be sending us decks to review. And any of your feedback I can also give to them. Alrighty. So any suggestions and anything would be helpful, so we know how to develop this new series that we have going on. So that is this deck. And to anybody that knows, I sell a lot of herbs at the store. I am a certified herbalist. So to me, this is really quite exciting. So I am going to open this up right now. And yeah, I'm one of those ones that uses her nails for everything. So I'm pulling off the plastic right now. Really, the artwork is quite beautiful. Alrighty, and I'll bring this up a little closer so you can see. So you can see the construction of the book. So the colors are really quite vibrant. So I'm going to open this up now. Alrighty, just to give you an idea what it all looks like as I drop that. This is nice. So this is the front of the book, and this is the back. So you actually have a bound book here. It's not just a little booklet here. And looking at this, okay, so the booklet itself is in black and white. Alrighty, and it has a full explanation of each here. So for instance, crafting with I'm just looking at all of this. I've not looked at any of this before. So I have to get used to this. So each card will also have, obviously this says like 2 of fire, and then it's associated with bee balm. And then it will go into that description here. What else about the book? Has obviously an index. It has acknowledgments here, which is really wonderful. Let's look at this. Beautiful. All right, it has a full introduction, cards, and correspondences here. Nice description here with the major arcana. And, of course, the pip cards, which are the minor arcanas. So that's the book so far. Just show you the spine. So it actually is a very nice book that goes along with it. I love the colors. It's just absolutely beautiful. And this is how the cards are packaged inside. So I'm really liking the way that this is put together. And for the pricing, I think it's $24.95 from them. So let me pull this out. Really well booked. Like I just pulled this out now. You could see it's very well constructed. So you can actually store your cards in this box, and put your crystals and other stuff in there. I wouldn't see the need for another box the way that this is made. So I'm taking off the plastic because there's also plastic on the cards on the inside. Okay, so plastic on the floor. So this is the back of the card. All right, and you can see various herbs that are here, leaves, roots, that sort of thing. I'm hoping the color is coming across really nicely. The cardstock is nice. I'm just looking at this because that's important to me. When I shuffle, I use the regular, I think it's called the ripple shuffle, as opposed to hand over hand. So it depends on how thick. Not all cardstock is suitable for that, but this one is. Alrighty, so it's typical cardstock. And let's look at this one. So I'm just showing you the very first one here that I see here. You can see the beautiful colors here. And this one is called the Curandura, forgive me on that one, of Earth. So obviously the plants here are associated with Earth. Let me look at the rest here. So here is, oh, this is really nice, the Fool. Alrighty, so you can see that, and again, there's the back. So there is a little bit of a gloss here, alrighty, but it's more of a, I don't know if that makes sense, like a matte gloss, so it's not going to be blinding. So I hope the colors are really nice on this. So let me look at this. So they're associating dandelion with the Fool, alrighty, and you can see the stones all around that with butterfly, and I kind of like that because when a butterfly is born, if you want to call it that, you know, when it transforms from the cocoon to butterfly, you can look at that as a birth or a new cycle, all right? And pretty much the Fool represents that cycle, all righty? So that's really nice here. Hi, Jody. And Cheryl, hello, everybody. And Val is on up, and Tommy's there. Thank you. Ian, Mark Nelson, it's good to see everybody here. So right off the bat, that is the first one, and the colors are just so vibrant here. So there is there is a pouch on here, and I'm looking at the pouch in regards to maybe the Rider-Waite deck where the Fool is carrying a little pouch on a stick on his back. So I haven't read the book yet, but I'm assuming that's where that is coming from. Alrighty, so that's one here. And then, oh, this is really nice. So here we have the Sunflower. Again, we're touching on the major arcana cards. And that is the Magician. And you can see the infinity sign above, which again kind of references back to the Rider-Waite deck. Alrighty. What would a sunflower mean to you? I'm curious. And if you look at the bottom, there are representations of earth, air, fire, water. Alrighty. So you can see that, again, it's going back to some of the typical references that are there. So in the Rider-Waite, again, I'm referencing the Rider-Waite, the Magician has a table with those elements on it. So I can see a little bit of a throwback to that one, okay? So that is the Sunflower. Oh, I love this one. So this is the High Priestess and Mugwort. So that makes an awful lot of sense now, doesn't it? So for those of you who have not worked with Mugwort, Mugwort helps you with your dreams. It'll help you with profound dreams or prophetic dreams. And you can see those references all over this. And of course, the High Priestess will certainly and can help you with those aspects here. So you can see that there are seeds all over this. I see 3 pomegranates on there. One is open, and the other 2 are whole, just to show you that. And then you could see above is a little pouch that has the sun, the moon and the stars on top of that. So that's really quite beautiful too. I'm looking forward to studying the book here. I'm just going to scroll up to see. Hello, Alan and Maria. Tracy, how are you? Yes, Val, they are beautiful. So I'm not going to go through each one of these. I'm going to see what others can do. So here, look at this. This is interesting. So I'm going to throw something out to you because I'm learning the deck just like you. So strength, the strength card is garlic. Alrighty. So why is garlic associated with strength to you? Now, right off the bat, to me, garlic represents strength because it has such a strong scent. Garlic and onions contain sulfur, which are antibiotics, which is very protective. So I'm throwing that out to you. It is said that garlic protects you from malevolent forces, right? So I'm just throwing that out fast now. But why would garlic represent strength? So please post that in the comments because I'm curious to see what you all think here. This is really quite nice. And I'm trying to look at all of it. I see honey here. Yes. So actually, if you make a honey with garlic, Lyra, if you're there, I know that you're going to agree with this. If you make honey with garlic or onions, it's an effective, again, for your throat, colds, flus, that sort of thing. That's a wonderful remedy for that. So it wards off illness, just like, you know, in the mythos, garlic wards off vampires or vampirism of some sort. So strength is garlic here. So that's one. So let me know what you think here. Let me throw out another one. I'd love to, look at this one. Marigolds on the death card, which is the number 13. So you can see the sugar skull that is there. Take a look at that. And again, the butterfly is there. So again, that's a transformational symbol or archetype. But yet marigold. Why do you think marigolds are associated with there? Hello, David. It's healing, strong emotion. Yes, that is Sherry. I agree with you. Hey, Craig. So what do marigolds have to do with the death card? And again, in this deck, it's the number 13. The colors are vibrant. I love the fact that they use a sugar skull here too. So tell me what you think of this. Do you like this card? Do you not like this card? Alrighty. So we have that. So, boy, this is just absolutely stunning. This is a book that I would like to study at some point. So let me try and go to the pip cards. Alrighty, meaning the minor arcana cards. Alrighty, so here we have the 2 of earth. Alrighty, so earth to me is pentacles or discs. Alrighty, so the 2 of earth is witch hazel. Alrighty, now witch hazel is very cooling. You know, you use witch hazel to cleanse a wound. I use witch hazel for making scents out of my herbs, because witch hazel will preserve, to an extent, some of the herbs that I have. You can make a linen spray with witch hazel and stuff like that, but it's also very cooling, and it's also really nice on the face. Very cool to do a Deo de los Muertos theme with the death card. Yeah, it really is. Can you do a 3 card? Yes, I will. I will absolutely do that. So Val writes, and forgive me that I get so close here. The writing is small. Garlic is so pungent, antioxidant, healing for colds, flus, and other respiratory ailments. So healing. It needs to be respected for its power. Nice. Also a repellent of what you don't want to experience. Strong repellent. I like that. Yes, Mary, it's good to see you. And Renee, Shireen. Oh, it's wonderful to see so many people. And Chris Lopez loves this deck. Loves this deck. That's great. So, again, 2 of earth, witch hazel. What does that mean to you? Because I don't want to jump so far ahead that you're all going to get bogged down on this. Alrighty, and at the end of this, I'm going to do a 3-card spread, as Tommy suggested, which I think is a great idea, because it's going to force me to learn the cards right with you. Alrighty, so 2 of earth, witch hazel. Now, to me, 2s are about relationships, partnerships, finding balance, or sometimes the need to find balance, whether it's upright or reversed. So what does that have to do with witch hazel? Alrighty. Oh, and by the way, I should write this down. This book, the Herbcrafters Tarot, is published by U.S. Game Systems. I'm just going to look at the very bottom here. U.S. Game Systems, thank you. And the artwork is by Joanna Powell Colbert. I want to make sure everybody gets credit for this. And written by Latisha Guthrie. So I'm really loving the way this deck is working so far. I've been eyeballing this for a while, so I thought that this would be a great one to start with. Alrighty. Hecate loves when you burn garlic paper. Oh, you know, that is absolutely the truth, Mary. That makes so much sense. Since garlic is also associated with the underworld, Hecate is associated with the underworld, which makes a lot of sense. And by the way, a little bit off of subject, I was able to attend a Hecate intensive. It wasn't a retreat because this wasn't a time for relaxation, but I was honored to be able to attend Hecate's Key here in Cornwall, and it was hosted by Gina Martini, and the rituals were by the Temple of Hecate. So I like Lori Bizzarro and the rest of you wonderful people in the Temple of Hecate. I could not have expected more. We had classes by Lori Bizzarro, Jason Miller. Thank you, Jason. Amazing. I just got one of his books, so I'm going to be reading all of that. And Sarah Bittner. So you all rock, and I highly suggest, I'm hoping that this happens again next year. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. And encourage this type of teaching or learning, because it's sorely lacking these days. And sometimes the big, huge festivals just don't cut it when it comes to learning on such an intense way. Because this was a smaller group. It was like 30 or so, 30, 40 people. But it was enough so that each person had a chance to talk to the teachers, have their questions answered, and you weren't rushed. Oh my God, you had to go on to the next thing. Everybody was accessible. Everybody was in the same area to sleep in and camping in. And there's something to be said about breaking bread with everybody and to be able to talk with everybody and to have ritual with everybody rather than it being thousands of people. So I suggest finding out what's going on in your local area, or especially with the Temple of Hecate and anything that Gina Martini does, because she also has CWPN hosts small festivals like 200 and under, and the intimacy there is wonderful. So you really get a lot out of classes like this. So that was my little side thing here. So mitigation. Oh, Renee. Mitigation is the word that keeps coming to me for the witch hazel card. Soothing wounds, antiseptic, yes. Topically cleansing. I think it fits well with the balanced juggling aspect of the Two of Pentacles. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that. I absolutely love that. Hi, Michelle. Renee, are you up? Let me see here. I just want to see what we got going on here. No, I'm not tagging people here. Let's see here. Guest request. Renee, you want to come in on this one? I think it'd be really awesome. So, just let me see. Because it would be nice, Renee. If you can, Renee, let me know if you can come on. Alrighty, I sent you an invite if possible. Hi, Robert. It's good to see you. And Lena, very nice to have you here. So now let's go. Let's go with something else here. So we have the Three of Air. Now, we had a discussion about the suits, alrighty? Some decks will associate air with swords, and some decks will associate air with wands. So, you know what? I really can't tell what they're associating it with here. All right, so I'd love your opinion on this. So this is the Three of Air, but it is echinacea. All right, I hope you can see that. I hope I'm not too close, but I just want everybody to see it. So echinacea is also known as coneflower. And echinacea, if you have a bad relationship with ragweed, like lots of allergies and stuff like that. They're related. So echinacea, if you have an allergy to ragweed, you might want to stay away from that one. But people will use this to ward off sickness as well. And in my opinion and my research, you really should take echinacea before you get sick, or if everybody around you is getting sick. I do the same thing with elderberry, though elderberry will also help you when you're sick. But this is, to me, in my studies, echinacea is probably better taken before you get sick. So when you know that everybody around you is sick, it's better that you take it then as opposed to when you're already in it. But, that's just my opinion on this. So why would purple coneflower or echinacea be associated with the 3 of air? I always look as air as a creative thing as well. I'm at work, desktop, no camera. Okay, no problem, Renee. No problem. So why would that work for you? Alrighty. So let me know. Again, I have to study the book on this one. So if I had to, I don't look at echinacea as a hot herb or a spice. Hot meaning like cinnamon or oregano, peppers. They're a bit more caustic, so I don't look at echinacea that way. So obviously it would have more of a cooling effect. I'm not sure if anybody out there is an herbalist, so please correct me if I'm wrong, because I learn just as much as you do. Alrighty, so 3 of air. I always look at 3s as the coming together of ideas, some sort of resolution, no matter what the suit is. So that's my take on this. So what do you think about this? The need for protection in disaster. Hello, Shannon. Nice to see everybody there. Perhaps. And you know what? I'm going to cheat. I'm going to see if I can get the book out here without making a mess and without dropping anything here. Let's see if I can find out what the book means. Most of the time I say throw out the book, but this is a very different. So this is the 3 of air. So 3 of air, echinacea. Speak your truth about your heartbreak. Be the medicine that heals the pierced heart. Healing from grief. Okay, so I can see that. So 3 echinacea flowers pierce the sky on a cloudy summer day. An abandoned barn with a rusted roof stands in the background. The sun and rain battle for position. Bursts of light are followed by short showers. Heartache leads to self-knowledge. You may be confronted with an agonizing reality. Wild echinacea, a potent medicine that once blanketed the prairies of North America, is now endangered. We may never again experience the wild, abundant fields of this electrifying pink flower, which is very true. See things as they truly are and accept the lost. Healing lies in your ability to learn from devastation. So they were saying that since echinacea is almost endangered, which it is, and if possible, grow your own. It's easy. It's not a hard flower to grow. So they're associating it with the devastation of the wild coneflowers or echinacea in the wild. And they're associating, I'm just looking at this here, air. Okay, so they're not associating it with fire, so it is air. So that is good. Seeking out strong allies who will help you through the grieving process. It is a slow-growing plant. Sit with your grief as long as it takes. Alrighty, so what's your take? So I did cheat, because I wanted to see what the creator would like here. So hello, Mike. Air communication with the cells. Thank you, Val. Shireen, I feel like with that card, there's nothing but sorrow and a sense of always feeling down in the dumps. Maybe it's a person who's feeling sick or has health issues, or health or heart, right? That devastation there. Put e-flower on the altar with lavender and white candles, purple and white. Vibe with this plant. Just looking at Mary, gave a really nice thing. Wow, I didn't know it was under such a threat. So yeah, it is. So I did know that, but I don't think that I ever would have brought that up if I didn't look at the book. So the book is very well put together, better than most. So I'm pretty impressed with this, and I'm going to take the time to study this in time for next week's show. By the way, next week's show will have a Halloween flavor to it. Alrighty, so Halloween, Samhain, that sort of thing. Maybe you know what? Inspiration. Maybe we could talk about divination and your ancestors. So that might be a nice topic. So, I think I'm going to stick with that among other things. And if you would, tell me how you would use divination to contact your ancestors. So we could talk about that. So, hello, Gil. It's very nice to see you. So let's go on next. So 5 of air, white sage. Alrighty. So I'm looking at the white sage here, and this is culinary white sage. This is not desert white sage. All right, so air makes sense since we always use, this is not that type of sage, but if you use it as an incense, that would be associated with air. It's really quite beautiful. So we have this red ribbon or red cord that is tying it, and you can see that there's a little dagger there next to the plant, so it is harvested live. I know that white sage is very antiseptic. You can make a mouthwash out of it. If you made a tea out of it and you gargled with it, it's very antiseptic for the gums, nice for the face. So is witch hazel, by the way. It's really nice for the face. Hi, Linda, and hello, Tina. So what would white sage mean to you in regards to the 5 of air? Now, in my mind, I automatically jump to, again, the Rider-Waite, and since I associate wands with air, I associate it with that. To me, 5s is a bit of a battle. Maybe not always, but I always associate 5s with some sort of need to find resolve. It is 1 less than 6. 6 is a bit more about completion and balance. So 5s stand for, to me, because I know everybody has a different take on it, 5s is a little bit unbalanced. And so the need to find a balance is a good thing. But a pentacle has 5 points, doesn't it? So it's hard to see. You can't see my pentacle. There we go. Alrighty. So 5 points on the pentacle or pentagram that I have here. I don't have the circle around it. But think about what 5s mean to you. And you can see that they're making little bundles out of that. And there's 5 of them. I love the artwork here. I love the shadowing. They really put the artist really put a lot of time into this, because it's like each card is a work of art. This wasn't just a photograph and somebody slapped the background onto it. So I'm very impressed. Each one of these took a lot of time. And you could see that there's a bit of a story in each one. So the idea is to take the time and learn the story that is being presented here. So let's try something new. Oh, okay. I'm going to try something here. Oh, this is very pleasing to the eye here. So, Adelita of Earth. Does anybody know what Adelita means? I will look it up, but I'm wanted to see. I'm assuming goddess female is what I'm looking. No, Madre. Adelita of Earth. It's yucca, but they're making breeds crosses out of it. So can anybody tell me what Adelita means? I am totally brain dead. I should be able to figure that out, but I'm not right now. So if you know what that means, this is very intriguing to me, because it looks like it's in the Southwest. Hello, Angel. It's good to see you. Conflict. I see the Five of Wands. That's right. So, all right. So I'm going to cheat because I don't see what Adelita means. So I'm going to look. All right. Madre is mothers. Adelita of water. Adelita of earth. A young woman. Okay. So I'm looking at that. So it's a young woman, so I had an idea. So I'm assuming this is like the princess or page, that sort of thing. So look at the yucca, and they're making breeds crosses out of the yucca, but yet it looks like it's in Arizona or a desert. So I really got to look at this because obviously I named my store after Breed or Bridget, or you could see that these are the crosses, her crosses that are here, and they're being made of yucca, which is totally unique because normally you make these of reeds. All right. She's also known as Saint Bridget in Ireland or in the Celtic world. So, young woman of earth and the yucca. Are they talking about Breed or Bridget in her maiden aspect? Because she is a triple goddess. Hello, Leah. It's good to see you here. So what is your take? This one is really kind of interesting because the hand, I don't know if you could see the arm there. Here, it's very Celtic looking too, but in the Arizona. So we're talking about something from Europe and obviously the Americas, which is yucca, where it grows in the South. What is the association here? What do you think that means? Alrighty, I would love to see what you think about this one. So I'm trying not to cheat and look at this, but I suppose using the yucca leaves, using what you have at hand would make sense. So if I was in Arizona, like where Renee lives, and I didn't have reeds to make breeds crosses, I would use the yucca plant if that was possible. I've never worked with yucca before, but if it was palatable or pliable, I should say, I would probably do that. So use what you have at hand. Alrighty. So what is your opinion? Oh, I miss you too, Leah. So what is your opinion about this card? So again, you can see how exquisite the artwork is. The shadowing is beautiful. All the details are in there. So much detail is in it, even just down to the little bits of the yucca that are on the side, the fibers of the yucca. It's all there. Nothing is cheap about the way the artwork and the construction of this deck is. So what do you think this means? A blend. Oh, Mary, thank you. A blending of worlds of healing. Go back to traditions. Nice. Nice, because it is the melding of two, isn't it? Two different worlds, right? The Celtic world and then the American Southwest. So that would make a lot of sense. I like that. I absolutely love that. Absolutely love that. So that's another one of those. So let's see what we have next. So we have the four. Let me just double check. So the Four of Earth. And you can see a willow basket is being made. So it is associated with the herb willow. Can you see that? I'm hoping you can. Trying to get rid of any glare. Alrighty. So to me, this kind of makes sense on an intuitive sense, because the four, again, I'm going to reference right away. You can see the four wands holding up, it looks like a chuppah for a celebration. So again, it's a happy card, it's a celebratory card, that sort of thing. And I kind of look at the reeds sticking up, or the willow reeds standing up there, and it reminds me of that imagery. Alrighty, so we have that. And let me see here. Okay, so 6 of fire. Oh, nasturtiums. Actually, this one is kind of easy for me because nasturtiums have a peppery flavor to them. And remember, I was talking about herbs that are associated with fire because they're hot herbs. Nasturtium would fall into that. So you can see the candles. It is the 6 of fire. And you can see the nasturtiums. Nasturtiums are 100% edible, and you can add them to your salads. So I think all parts of the nasturtiums are edible. So they have nasturtiums with 6 candles in the background. So that's really beautiful. I really, really like this, and you can see the different colors associated with this deck. So it's really quite beautiful. Yucca is a starch. The binding together agent. That is great, Sherry. Thank you for that one. Coming together, binding together. Okay. I got it. So it's kind of like just going back to my notes just a little bit. It's alchemy, isn't it? And what I mean by that is the melding together of the 2 different meanings, whether it's the tarot deck itself and the meanings of the herbs. So I could see more things happening with this type of deck, and whether you're an herbalist or a tarot person, I can see the coming together of these 2 aspects in this. This one was an easy one for me because I love nasturtiums, I guess, and the meaning was easy for me here. And I could see the red here, which, again, went right to fire to me. So that one was a very easy card for me to put together, the meanings on this together. But what would that mean to you? So it is alchemy, isn't it? It's taken 2 different types, I don't want to say media, but 2 disciplines, and putting them together and coming up with a meaning to you. I can also kind of see this in spell work. What do you think? What do you think about that? I'm like looking at my notes here, because looking at this, these 2 together would actually be a spell. In fact, this card itself could be a spell. Alrighty? So you kind of get what I mean here. Now, you know that herbs can have similar meanings, whether it's both medical or medicinal or magical. Alrighty? But sometimes magical herbs are too dangerous. All right, so we could talk about aconite or belladonna, deadly nightshades. Believe it or not, morning glories. You have to be careful about a lot of the herbs that are associated with the moon. They open up at night, like I said, morning glories, datoras. They can make you very ill, and some can actually kill you. So you would have to be careful. So like something like mugwort, while it won't kill anybody, it's actually a pretty safe herb, with the exception of women who are pregnant or want to get pregnant, because it relaxes you so much. It can relax the uterine muscle and then can help promote a miscarriage. So mugwort should only be used as maybe a relaxation. If you're on your cycle, you have a lot of anxiety, mugwort is a good one. Or if you want to take mugwort before you go into a meditation, that is another good one. Or you can use mugwort as a moxie, which is at your certain chakra points, where you just burn it there, or burn it as an incense. So there's a couple of things. You could burn it to cleanse your magical tools. That's another one. So for most witches, mugwort is a very, very important tool. But you need to know what is good and how to use it safely, just to give you a little heads up on that. Hello, Pamela and Jody. Yes, Mary. So it is a bit of alchemy, and how can you take these 2 disciplines and put them together? They're doing a very good job here in this. Alrighty. In this deck is what I got to say. So Tommy gave me this question. He posted, will the Herb Crafters deck be self-explanatory, and it will resemble other typical decks. And actually, I don't know that it's totally self-explanatory. Some of the cards are, like it was easy, but you know what? If you're not an herbalist, the beauty of this is that's going to force you to look up the meanings of those herbs and then combine it with the meaning of that tarot card. So I could see this as being an excellent teaching tool. Plain and simple. So for me, I actually had to look up what the artist and the creator wrote about this. So it's a good idea to learn this book. And it's funny because you go to the book last. But it would be a good idea to do that if you don't know anything about herbalism. It would be a nice way to do that. Hello, Kelly. And Diana Maria. So, nice to meet everybody. You know, a couple of you are pretty new here, so it's nice. So I can see this as being a wonderful teaching tool. I'd love to get some people together at the store, you know, especially my tarot students. Maybe we can tear apart this deck and have fun with one another. What do you think of that idea? All right, a nice way to have a night schmooze and kind of go through the deck together. So I'm just keeping an eye on the time here. Question for all of you out there. All righty. How do you go about becoming familiar with a new deck? Do you have a ritual? Do you keep a journal? And have you ever worked with a deck only to find out that it didn't work for you? So think about that, let that macerate in your brain, and think about that over here. Alrighty? Has that ever happened to you? Now, yes, I've had decks where they looked really beautiful when I bought them, but when I opened them up, it didn't resonate with me. So what I've done is I either give them away or I can use them as a teaching tool. And what I mean by that, and for any of you who have been my students in the past, I keep those decks, and then when I teach, I put them on the table and I allow people to pick out a deck that they like, and then we'll work with that, okay? So just because it doesn't work for me doesn't mean it doesn't work or resonate with somebody else. So I try to do that. Not everybody has money at hand when they come into a tarot class. I know that sounds a little intuitive, a little counterintuitive, but if they don't have a deck at hand, they could practice with one that I have here, figure out what they like, and then usually they wind up buying one from me or from whoever you normally go to. But I'd love to see what works for you. Have you ever had a deck that didn't work? Hello, Joanne. Have you ever had a deck that you bought that didn't work for you, even though on the shelf it looked like it was really nice? And what do you do to make your deck yours? Shireen, if you're still out there, I'd love to hear what you have to say, because Shireen also works a lot with the tarot. And let me look at that. Now, what I'm going to do while everybody's letting that macerate in your brains is I'm going to shuffle. I'm going to see how easy this is to shuffle. And then I'm going to do a 3-card reading and see what what your interpretation is on this. So I'm going to push myself in front of everybody, okay? These shuffle very easy, by the way. Now, I'm used to shuffling with very large decks. This is a little bit larger. I want you to see what it looks like in my hands. Okay, so some of you, if you have smaller hands, you might want to do hand over hand. But I also use other decks that are quite large, so this is not a problem for me. It really feels nice in my hands, by the way. Alrighty. It's a really well-made deck. I'm actually very impressed. It's better than most. So, all right. So I am going to do a 3-card reading, and this will carry us over until next week. Alrighty. So we have the 2 of air, we have the 7 of earth, and we have the 8 of air. So let's see if I can pick this all up. This is the first 2, and this is the third. All right, so the first card is the 2 of air. The second card is the 7 of earth, and the third card is the 8 of air. All righty, so 2 of air. So there's chicory on that, and I happen to love chicory. Chicory is also a flavoring agent in coffee, and you can also make a drink out of that if you roast it. So 2 of air. To me, 2s has to do with that whole balance, the need of balance, or like Renee mentioned, juggling those things in life. So, and then we have the 7 of earth, which is associated with oak, and there's acorns all around it. It has a very earthy feeling. I'm going with intuition here, and it's going into the fall. Alrighty, so there's change here. So we have the 2 of air, which looks very, very summery. Chicory comes out in the early spring, in spring and in summer. Alrighty, so we have the 2 of air with chicory. We have the 7 of earth, which is oak, very sturdy. And again, we can see the acorns on the ground. They're falling now, right? And then we have the 8 of air, which is licorice. Now, licorice is not a favorite. I do not like licorice at all. But what's interesting is, I don't know if you can see all of that, but it looks like a building that, fell apart, ruins. You know what I mean? It kind of made me think of Ireland when Tommy and I were there last, because there's a lot of old buildings here. So what is your take on all of this? Because the fence itself, I don't know if you could see that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8. So they're associating air with wands. Okay, so this deck is more along my lines. So what do you think that means to you? This is a lot about transformation here. In my opinion, going from spring to fall is already about transformation, juggling things, trying to make things work. And Mary, I agree with you. Sherry, I have 1 copy here for sale, just in case you want this. It is a gateway. So 2 of air, juggling things, getting things accomplished. Air is wands to me, and yet it's a gateway to something new. So to me, ideas, thoughts, creation, do something that really grounds you. All right, now I'm a Libra, so air really resonates with me. Everything about me is air. You should see my birth chart. It's a little weird. All right, so 2 of air, 7 of earth, pretty much what grounds you. But sometimes I look at the 7 of earth, if I'm going by my interpretation of that, is I need to pick wisely too. It's not haphazard. Alrighty, and being that there's acorns all over this, acorns could be ground up and made into food once it's been boiled, because there is tannins, all right, that you see in wine and all that other stuff. You have to boil those tannins out, let the acorns dry. We make flour out of it, so you can create out of this. And then, as Mary mentioned, a gateway. Now, I'm not sure what licorice in this case stands for. I know that you make candy from licorice. I know that people buy licorice root from me and they use it as a breath freshener, but I'm sadly naive as to the medicinal uses of licorice, so I need to look that up, but I don't want to look that up. Yeah, and the gate is partially open. You're absolutely right about that. Tommy writes, if the ground is very dry, sometimes drought, like an oak tree, it will produce more acorns because the tree needs to drop the acorns in order to support the life on it. And that makes a lot of sense. So, in my opinion, It's going to be a creative week. Think about what it is that you want to do. Pick and choose. The gate is partially open, as Renee mentioned. So take a look. Don't throw yourself in. Don't push that gate wide open. Open it up a little bit. See what you got going on. See if what you're doing is working. And going back to the Two of Air, you need to juggle things. Either it's finding partnership in something in regards to a creative aspect, or you need to juggle things. So don't take on too much. Because if you do, you go from that and then you see the acorns and it's a heavy basket. Alrighty, so you can see that. How much can you take on before going through that gate? And, you know, gates are pretty magical in itself, isn't it? It's like the world between the worlds. And you open up that gate and then you can go on to the next thing that needs to be done. So be careful. You know, there's a lot of people are afraid to take their initiations. A lot of people are afraid to make that next step. So will that gate be wide open for you, or will it be closed? When we do transpossession or drawing down of deity or entities within us, one of the meditations we use is the gate, the bridge. Is the gate open? Can you see through the gate? Is it solid? What does that gate look like to you? So there's a lot going on here, and maybe this is also hearkening the fact that you should take some time to delve into that a little bit deeper on that. So, hey Sandra, it's good to see you. And Tony, it's good that you're here too. In other words, spreading its seed if it feel like it's going to... Oh, you know, Tommy, that's great. And Tracy writes, licorice soothes your stomach. Keep it light and airy, a time for a bit of whimsy. And that comes from Mary. I like that. I really like that. Yes, and Tracy West, besides being a wonderful children's books author, is also a pretty neat gardener. And Tracy, it was wonderful to see you the other day. It's nice when people sneak up here and visit me on the cuff, on the fly. So Tracy and I got to talk to each other. It's been years, so it's great to see you, Tracy. So let's look at what that creative aspect. Hi, Jerry. Let's see how that applies to the week. What's your interpretation on that? Alrighty. So let me go back to my notes here, and please let me know if you liked this unboxing. I actually have 3 other decks that U.S. Games, and I thank you again, all of you at U.S. Games, for sending us the decks and for supporting this tarot forum. And if any of you are not on, we have Breed's Closet Tarot and Divination Forum. I highly suggest going on that because there's a lot of great information on there. The forum is for readers and clients alike. So if you are a reader, please feel free to promote your business on there. We have a little section that you could write on and let people know how they can contact you. Let's see what else we got here. Yes, Tracy, it's awesome. So please let me know if you have a deck that you would like us to review. Please let me know that as well, because I sell tarot decks here. Alrighty, so that would be a nice idea. And if any of you also have your own deck, in other words, you self-publish, or you're an indie, or if you know of other people that have indie decks. Indie decks means you self-published it, or it's a small run. Let me know, because I can look into that. I can always contact the artist to get permission to do that. I think a lot of, I was doing my research on YouTube, and a lot of people don't ask for that permission. So I want to make sure that I do that. So let me know your opinions, what you would like to see. And if I missed something with this review process, let me know. Hi, Star, and hi, Lisa. Lisa, by the way, runs an amazing metaphysical shop in Ulster County called the Awareness Shop. She's also running a fundraiser to help her church, or her place of worship is not the right word, is it, Lisa? If you're on there, but if Lisa, feel free to post your information here. I do network with a lot of awesome metaphysical shops, and I will not blast others here, just to let you know, so that drama is not going to be there. And I will promote other metaphysical shops. And Lisa is also, let me see, Rosa Torres is my Reiki master, and Lisa is above her. She's of Lisa's line when it comes to Reiki. So if you're in the Ulster County area, I highly recommend going to her shop. I highly recommend it. And Lisa is also an amazing singer. So I hope I embarrassed you enough, Lisa, and put that out there. Review the Scapini. Okay, review the Scapini deck. I will work on that one. So that'll be great. So that's what I need. I want the information that you have here. So what is coming up is a couple of things here. We have our psychic fair on the 26th. I know that there are a lot of events going on the same day. So if you want to get it all in, I would suggest, I think we're the earliest, because we in Cornwall, we have what is called the Spooktacular. So they close off the streets. So if you come here, either get here very early before they do that, but I still suggest parking on the side streets so that you can take your time here. So the Main Street will be closed off. I forget the times offhand, but they have an animals costume contest here, so they have a parade. The kids go trick-or-treating with all of the stores that are here. Plus, we have our psychic fair going on all at the same time. So it could potentially be pretty busy. So when you get here, park on the side streets. We have 8 or 9 different readers that at that point coming. So we have runes, we have palmistry, we have Lenormand, and we have tarot at this point. So those are the different mediums that will be here. So all readings are going to be $25 for a 15-minute reading. Alrighty, so get here early, and if you could come here in costume, that would be awesome. We need to celebrate. We get into the spirit of things, and it's always a really fun event here. Plus, Sherry, if you're out there, Sherry owns. Now I know I'm not going to pronounce this right, Sherry. She's an amazing baker. Artsis, I don't know if I pronounced that right. So Sherry, please write that out. She is going to be featuring her wonderful works of art when it comes to her baked goods. So she'll be bringing that over here for sale, and tastings and stuff like that. So we try to do a whole bunch of different things, which are an awful lot of fun. So we have that coming up. Yes, yeah, good, Sherry. Sherry, make sure you post your information in the Tarot and Divination forum too, if you want to let them know what kind of stuff you'll be bringing, alrighty, because nobody can represent their stuff better than themselves, okay? And hello, Nathan. So we have the Psychic Fair going on. Next Monday, we'll have a Halloweeny Samhain feel to it, and as we just brainstormed here, we'll talk about how to use the tarot in regards to divination. Now here's a funny thing, when I use that for divination, I tend to like Lenormand a little bit more. So that's just my opinion on that. You can let that macerate and see what works for you on that. Artsy, okay, Artsies, there we go, to make sure I pronounced Sherry's business correctly. So if you like sweets, it's going to be good because her stuff is just freaking amazing. Not good for my keto diet, that's for damn sure. So wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you can make something with that. So next Monday, we'll be working on the tarot with and probably divination in regards to ancestor worship. As usual, please post everything in this forum here, or please join our tarot and divination forum, and we'll get to your questions Again, I want to thank US Games for sponsoring us. I'm really excited about that. If you like this show, please let them know, because maybe we can do an awful lot more with this. We're also working on getting some interviews with, the authors of many of these decks. So we got a lot going on, and this show is growing exponentially, and so is the Tarot and Divination Forum, but it wouldn't happen without all of you. So I want to thank you, everybody. Please let me know what you thought of that 3-card reading. I want to know what your interpretation of that is. To me, I look at that as a creative thing, so I really got to get on the ball with some of these things. Alrighty, and I'm gonna kind of leave you 6:02. We're not too bad. We always go a few minutes over. Thank you. This could not happen without you. Feel free to share this everywhere. That interaction that I get from all of you really helps this show come alive. And as days go by, and as the weeks go by, and the months go by, it can only get better based on the needs of all of you and your response. So that would be fantastic. Hi, Michelle. I love seeing so many of my students there. It makes me happy. So take a look, review this show, tell me what you think, and we will get back to this next week. So we got a lot of things to do. We got a lot of things going on. Alrighty, and since we're coming into the holiday season, make sure you support your small businesses, okay? I know it's tempting to go to the big name stores, but try and support small business. Yes, I am obviously a very small business. You can see everything behind me. All right, I got lots of things going on here. Support small business. A lot of what I have in here and is made by local artisans. Do that. Do what you can to, like I said, to support more business, because it all goes back into the community that you live in. So that's my little rant, if you want to call it. Alrighty. So peace, everybody. Blessings, everybody. Community is pretty awesome. I learned a lot this weekend. I learned a lot from all of you, and let's keep that good energy going. Again, share this around. I'm going to be putting this on YouTube. So Breed's Closet has a YouTube page that needs to get it off the ground and moving a bit more. And many blessings to everybody. And I get so excited about doing this every week. So be well. And I hope everybody has a good rest of the week. Okay? Bye-bye.